Hi guys, okay, so we're in Samplitude ProX 6 at the moment, and I just want to show you how we insert Melodyne onto an object and reopen it if we've done some edits and we've closed the window and want to open it again. So I've got the usual vocal loaded at the moment that I've been using for the demonstrations, but I've also got the music with it in this project, so let's just have a quick listen.
Lately, baby, when you're close to me.
Okay, so that gives you an idea what we're going to be working with. It's just that lead vocal. There's nothing on these at all at the moment, just the raw stems. So the first thing we want to do is press the letter Z to select the object.
Start with me Vox. Object start bar 13 beat 1. Object end bar 99 beat 3 tick 269. Object length bar 86 beat 2 tick 269.
Okay, so once it's selected, we go to the object menu, so you can press the Alt key and right arrow to object, or press Alt and B.
Alt B, menu, object menu, new object unavailable, N.
Up arrow.
Audio to MIDI dot, edit audio file in Melodyne dot, E.
And enter on edit audio file in Melodyne.
Enter, leaving menus.
And now Melodyne will just process the audio on that object.
Melodyne object start with me Vox track 1 lead Vox plugin view VST3.
And it's opened. Okay, so once we're in here, you can just tab around
23.
and play whatever. You may find that it's going to put some empty bars at the beginning because the vocal actually starts at bar 13. So I'm just going to see if that does that. Control and 1.
Transport scroll 1. Showing bars -2 to 20. Bar -2.
Yeah, it does. So it's showing us -2 to 20. So if I go to bar 13.
2, 6, 10, 14, 13. Transport.
And we play from here.
Lately, baby, when you.
Okay, and that's where our vocal starts, and that's where we would start editing. We can toggle solo on and off with Alt and S, so we don't get the on and off status, but what this does is just allow you to listen to the vocal or whatever you're working on without hearing everything else. I'll do Alt and S.
Solo on / off.
And when we play it now,
Lately, baby, when you're close to me.
okay, we're just hearing the vocal. One thing I wanted to show you in here is track mode and clip mode. So track mode is when you've got multiple objects with Melodyne on them and you can hear them all at the same time when you scrub. So it can be very confusing, and I also think it allows you to switch to different tracks within this window if you've got editor or studio, but we can't do that at the moment. So I would say stay away from track mode. So we will need to be in clip mode. So track mode is F3, clip mode is F4. So remember, when you're working on an object, press F4.
Clip mode selected. Bar -2.
Okay, for clip mode. That just allows us to hear what we're working on when we scrub along the timeline. And finally, one thing to be aware of in here at the moment is that there's no Audition Keystroke. It's not supported in ARA or the plugin at the moment, but the latest Melodyne does support that. But as we're waiting for Ceremony to push out an update to that, then we're just going to have to wait, because they have added a keystroke to the latest version, and these scripts will support auditioning in this environment. Okay, so it's just something to be aware of. But in the meantime, we just have to select something and then left, right arrow back to the blob. So I'll just demonstrate selecting something.
2, 10, 14, 15. Transport. 40. Transport.
Okay,
cursor
so
moves to current position. Selecting
there.
blob. Please wait. ... Done. Selected a blob at this location.
So I've selected a blob, so I'm going to right arrow once and left arrow, and that's what we selected, the word when. So if I press Control up an arrow, for example,
F4. F number 4. G4. F number 4. F4. F number F4. E4.
okay, I was changing the pitch. So that's what you need to do at the moment, because there's no audition. The only way we can do it is with a physical mouse, which most visually impaired people don't have to do it, and it's just a bit awkward. So hopefully when you get these scripts, the latest Melodyne will be available or shortly available with that audition in. But apart from that, it is much the same. You just do it everything in the same tab around, change pitches, values, and you can access all the macros, etc. in this environment. So very much the same as the standalone. So imagine we've actually shut this window down. So let's do that.
Closing window. Samplitude ProX 6 suite.
Okay, we've done some work on it and we think, right, we want to go back into it. what you do is make sure that object's selected, so we press the letter Z again.
Start with Mevox ARA-Melodyne.
Okay, and then you press Ctrl and O to open the object editor.
Object editor open. Object editor effects tab button. Alt plus.
Okay, so we've got the effects tab active at the moment. If you haven't, press Ctrl and tab until you get to the effects tab. And when in here, you can either tab along to plugin 1, or you could press Ctrl, Shift and 1
Plugin 1 button
to move straight to it. And then if we tab once,
loaded plugin 1 : Melodyne checkbox checked.
okay, it's Melodyne. So we've got Melodyne on the first plugin slot. When you get to that, press enter.
Enter.
And it'll open
Melodyne
it.
object start with Mevox track 1 lead Vox plugin view VST3.
Okay, and we've opened it.
Bar 13. Transport cust.
Start the playback.
Lately, baby, when you're close to me.
Okay, so that's how we reopen it. Just to summarize, once it's closed, select the object, Ctrl and O for the object editor, Ctrl Shift 1 for the first plugin slot, tab 1 once to the name of that plugin, which will be Melodyne, and press enter. So that's how we add Melodyne to an object in Samplitude, and how we reopen it if we want to do further edits.